Well, it is time to continue on our adventures. And something's wrong. Well, this is not how it's supposed to be, but here, let's see. Come on. Okay, Dipson. Okay, I don't know what the hell is happening. It's only capturing my bottom screen. Don't capture that. There we go. Nothing, it's finally fixed. Now I'm trying to readjust this. There we go. Test. There we go. So now that we're out of the way, let's finally get this. Because goddammit, why the hell? But now, there it is. Let's go and resume our adventures of the great Ace Attorney. So here we go. So, last time we discovered that this young little girl here is none other than the escape, is none other than Nikomina Roshexvik, the ballerina who fled from the Nobodik Ballet Troupe. And of course, you can, you already enamored with her. Whenever you see a pretty girl, you're already enamored. But take note as what it says here, he's 15. He's 15 years old. Let's talk with her. It's cute and it's Russian. And it's Russian. So I think you're aware that a murder occurred in the cabin next door? Yes, sailors tell me during breakfast. The one who died was our friend. That is true. That's why we're trying to gather information right now, for his sake. Do you notice anything unusual last night? Something that sounded like a conversation or anything? Or the sound of a ship overtaken by a raging storm, or a huge explosion from the engine? I think everyone would have noticed something like that. Anyway, do you not hear anything, Miss Nikomina? I am knowing nothing. I was not thinking of anything but me. I am knowing nothing at all. I see. So you ran away from Nobody Ballet Company, is that right? Yes. I go to Great British Empire. From there, I board ferry to America. I am done with ballet. I want to start a new life. You say you're done with ballet. But you still decided to bring that tiara along? Tiara is mine. I need Tiara to live. What is he, Jon Snow? Yeah, he doesn't speak English. Yeah, he speaks English not well. I make no money from ballet group. I get only food and water from country to country, only dance all day. I had to run to protect Sir. And so you choose to seek asylum, right? Sailors on this ship are my friends. They let me on board, gave me empty cabin. But if that's the case, there's still one thing that doesn't quite fit. Yes, I see it too, Mr. Holmes. What do you think, Naruto? Oh, yes, of course. We should ask the Kamina about that. I have no idea what they're talking about. Might I inquire on one thing? According to this article, you only just disappeared yesterday. So that means that the only time you could have boarded the ship was last night. The ship was last night. However, the SS Leclerc did not weigh anchor at harbor last night. Ah, now that you mention it. So, how in the world did you manage to board this ship? Come to think of it, the sailors in the hull was behaving a little strangely, wasn't he? It was after we asked him when Mr. Royla had boarded. You all now needed that information. That's what he said, if I remember right. Gracefully descending onto the stage like a snow white angel. Huh? What was that about? It's about me. Was written in the theater review in Russian newspaper. I am gracefully descending onto this ship too. I am an angel after all. That's quite the groundbreaking claim you're making, considering your limited English. I wonder if all Westerners are as boldly spoken as Holmes and young Nico here. Like a god amongst men, he gracefully takes in the knowledge of the world. They have written such things about me as well. But that is in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. A serial likes exaggerated novel. This guy is really full of himself. This guy is full of himself. At any rate, she doesn't think she has any intention of telling us the truth how she got on board. So Nikomina's friend is in the trunk. But this ship forbids animals from being brought aboard. Please, keep secret. Do not tell anyone on ship. If they find out, then those brownie Russian sailors will grab that trunk and throw it into the sea. The heck? You're so mean, Mr. Holmes. So, this friend... Is it a puppy, perhaps? Or maybe an adorable little rabbit? Ah, you think Russians is adorable little rabbits dancing around the tundra? Huh? You mean they don't? I'm assuming not. But how should I know? Right. Neither of you are even close to the mark. By friend, she must mean. I got it. Without a shadow of a doubt, it must be a chicken! This guy is full of himself. A chicken? Well, just think about it. It wakes you up in the morning with its loud crow and it lays eggs every day. And if push comes to shove, you can just roast it up and have a nice meal, right? The whole thing about singing about waking you up, that's something a rooster does, not a chicken. God damn it. Something tells me that you're not exactly treating that chicken as a friend. Well, after all said and done, the fact remains that the identity of her friend is unknown. I knew it. She's still wary of us. You know, I feel like there's something I should be showing to Nikomina. I'm not sure exactly what, though. I have to present her something, but what? Nikomina, will you please give this a look? I am knowing nothing. I am knowing nothing. That's enough, Naruto. You're obviously scaring her. I'm so sorry. It's not like I was trying to frighten her. Nikomina, here's that newspaper article. You look beautiful in this picture, almost like a fairy. Seeing yourself in articles scary. Miss Nikomina, a 15-year-old girl alone in exile. I'm sure none of this is easy for her. Nikomina, here's a newspaper article. Do you know anything about the cruel revolutionary? I am knowing nothing. But I am very surprised that this guy looks so much like old man in article. Yeah, they didn't look alike at all. Men in brown also said that I look like old men in picture. Personally, I think that the only people who feel that way in this entire wide ocean are just you and that man in brown. Not her up, bad mouth of Mr. Holmes will not be tolerated. I wasn't bad-mouthing anyone. This is a journal that belongs to my friend who passed away. You're none. He wrote something about seeing something last night, and we're curious about it. 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. And then, 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled van at the air dock. Speckled van? This cabin's air dock is linked to the cabin next door. You can see it right here. In other words, this cabin and the victim's cabin are connected. Miss Nikomina, do you know anything at all about this? About the low whistle, the victim pair, or anything about this speckled van? No, I am knowing nothing. I see. Knock, knock. Please excuse us. I need a moment, Mr. Roylott. What is it? How did you do that so fast? The captain wants to talk with you about something. Please go to captain's quarters as soon as possible. Understood. We'll come at once. Where is it? Do not ask me that. You must leave now. Please don't worry about us. We will be fine, Mr. Redman. Quit playing! It'll hurt and get out or I will throw you out myself. It looks like we won't be able to continue inspecting the cabin right now. This is quite unfortunate. And just like that, we were thrown out of the cabin. We didn't have even a second to investigate before we were thrown out of the room. Literally thrown out, that is. Yeesh. Well, let's continue on. 9 January, SS Eclair, first class cabins. I can't believe he threw us out. And I can't believe we didn't manage to learn anything about that speckled band. Not being able to fully investigate the cabin didn't help matters either. Worst of all, now that Sir is watching us even more closely than he was before. I don't like his staring daggers at me. Oh, come think of it. What's the matter? That great detective of yours, where did he run off to? Now that you mention it, I haven't seen him skulking about for a while now. When did he slip away? He did fully cuff me again, then vanish into thin air. I think we're better off to go back to Asagi's cabin. That's cabin number 1. Looks like they're still investigating the scene. Never nice. I wonder if Detective Hasanaga is still well. What do you mean by that? Naruhodo, have you forgotten already? In order to grant you a prisoner the opportunity to investigate freely, he says something like, I will give my very life if only to persuade the captain. Oh, you're right. He did say that. Well, I figured the give my life part was just an exaggeration. Should we go check with him then? He might have some new information for us. Anyway, here he is. What the fuck happened to you? What the fuck happened to you, Hasanaga? Like he was beaten or something? Look at him! A black eye and... Wow. Like, what the hell happened? Detective Sonaga, what happened to you? Your face looks terrible. Yes, please don't be alarmed. It's just a few bumps and bruises. I don't think I described it as just a few bumps and bruises at all. No, you have a freaking black eye in the mouth, and look at the mouth, come on! As I was reporting to the captain in regards to the permission I gave you to investigate, the crew started to jeer at me for it, punch him in the face and throw him overboard. What? Soon, though, they decided to be content with only the punches, as you can now see. That is not all, though. Nothing to be worried about. I guess he wasn't joking around when he said he put his life on the line. Thanks to you, we now understand the situation in the neighboring cabin much better. So I heard, huh? Just a little earlier, a man billing himself as the great detective informed me of events. As I recall, I believe he said his name was... D. Sherlock Holmes, or something similar. Anyway, that man is everywhere! Anyway, since we're all here, would you like to compare notes? Yes, a wonderful idea. Can you believe it? Nikomina was gay. This is the cabin next to us. Oh, you know who she is? For a lover of ballet, it would be impossible not to have heard of that lovely fairy. He got mad at me. Moving on, it seems he's settled that the abduction camera has no relation to the incident. Huh? Well, what do you say that? A lovely fairy could not possibly do either. I haven't noticed, but the glasses. He's missing one glass. I didn't see that before, and probably you can't see it due to the quality of this thing. Yeah, he's missing one of the two glasses. He got mad at me again. Excuse me, but has the investigation on this time made any further advancements? To be perfectly honest, there's not much we're able to do right now. We have our hands full ensuring the scene stays untouched until Hong Kong police arrive. We've been told to keep an eye on things and not lift our watch for even a second. I see. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have one new piece of information. Oh? Well, please tell us anything you can. What's this new information? So what is this new information? Here, see it for yourself. This is a report that was written by the chief's doctor after his examination of the corpse. Asuki's post-mortem. Kasuma. So, how did he die? The fatal injury should be listed in the report. His neck was broken, it seems. Yes, about that. As we observed before, the victim had no visible external injuries. Initially, it was presumed that the cause of death was poison. However, the doctor's report stated there wasn't a single trace of poison in his body. Then what was the murder weapon? That could not be determined since there were no external injuries. I believe he may have been bludgeoned with some kind of blunt object that left no wound. I see. The central nervous system connects to the body through the cervical vertebrae. If one receives a strong blow there, admittedly without visible injuries, is not unlikely. Asuki. Here, I'm gonna copy the postmortem report. Please feel free to take it with you. Is that really alright? It will be fine. Because I believe in you. Huh. If I didn't, I would not be approved of you stepping your foot outside of this cabin to begin with, right? That's true. So, Asuki's neck was snapped? So Asuki's neck was... Ooh. God damn. I will say this, I've seen tons of deaths in the Ace Attorney series before, but as I played this game, god damn it, this game has more cruel deaths than on the actual main games. And I played every one of them. Seriously, I mean, paralyzing causing asphyxiation, and now neck snaps? What? And I'm telling you, I played every game in the series. There have been tons of cruel deaths in the main games, but not as cruel as the ones in this one. Oh, so Mr. Holmes came back again while we were gone? Yes. He seems content expecting the floor. In fact, he even crawled about it for a bit. But after just a few minutes, he gave up and left. He seemed rather restless and impatient. Did that great detective say anything at all? Yes. Now that you mention it, he did say one thing. in very loud, boisterous voice. This is shoe polish, he announced all the world to hear. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. As I recall, he was over there when he said it, around that broken bellies. Was he referring to those brownish red marks on the floor, Detective? Yes, that's right. But how did he know it was shoe polish? I haven't the foggiest. When he asked him, his reply was so convoluted it made my head spin. Is something wrong, Susato? Come to think of it, the customer had been wearing a pair of laced-up brownish red knee-high boots. Brownish red? I remember those boots. It was red so dark they almost seemed blacked. He had tended them with a polish that was a color much like red wine. Ah, so then that would make this the marks of Asagi's shoe polish. I'm afraid this is all I can offer to speak about. I have to return to my post soon. I can feel the sailor's eyes boring a hole into my head. I understand. Thank you very much. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? You seem rather fatigued, sir. Not at all, for you see, I feel my duty to protect Asagi. Of course, my suffering is trivial compared to what you must be going through. Moreover, my head has been hurting since this morning. I've been unable to do anything about it. A headache? Come to think of it, I can still feel the dull, troubling pain in the back of my head, too. All the books are made to line up on the shelf once more. This is a little while ago. Everything in this bookshelf was in a disarray. But you were the one who went ahead and straightened it out again, right? Don't even think about knocking anything out of place again. Like I said, it wasn't Asagi or me that threw them all off. You just can't calm down in the presence of a messy bookshelf. This is where Asagi wrote his final journal entry. 1 hour and 53 minutes later, midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. 1 hour and 35 minutes later, after midnight, I saw a speck of band at the air top. When I look at this journal sitting open like that, it's hard to believe he's gone. Kazuma left us a valuable clue. And with it, I'm sure that we'll be able to solve this mystery. Right, of course we will. Yo, where have you been? Sir, I was over in the next cabin performing an investigation. And just who gave you permission to do that? It was a leader named Hosonaga. The new guy? I saw it. I'll roll him on the bar and throw him into the freezer to cool down for a while. He already ran off again. Is Detective Hosonaga really going to be shoved into a freezer? I deeply in-depth to him for this. When we return home, I'll make sure to order him a beefsteak of La Cuantos. Somehow, I feel as though we're still in a long way from making it back to Japan. Well, yeah, I mean, you're still just in a trip to Hong Kong, and it's only been half a month. It's quite a beautiful car, don't you think? From the looks of it, I think there's some small broken right half. I couldn't find the other half anywhere in the cabin, though. Aside from that, there was also some dark brown red mark on the floor. It appears to be shoe polish, at least according to the great detective over there. I agree with him. It must have been scrapped off Kasuma's boots. Well, you can't say that, but what makes him so sure that it's specifically shoe polish? Why? That's because he's a great detective after all. One of the reasons we need. That doesn't count as an actual reason. These are the words. He says they spell out the word wardrobe in Russian, according to several people fluent in it. That won't work coincidentally as you as a murderer, but you already knew that. If you want to figure out me as a murderer, why not just write Naruhodo in Russian? Anyway, there's one thing I can say for sure. I think it's difficult to imagine the Cosmo could write his final words in Russian at all. Well, it wasn't Asugi. Who in the world was it? Also, his neck was snapped. He died instantly. There's no way that he could have wrote that. Just as it's written in bold, straight strokes, is very reminiscent of Asugi. These were put up paper by not only Cosmo himself. I mean, seriously, if someone were to snap your neck, you couldn't do anything. Because right after that, your nervous system will be cut off from the rest of your body instantly. That would have caused death and even be asphyxiation. Because again, you cannot move. Are you able to look your hands? Nice and shake. Yes, of course I am. After all, I'm innocent. In spite of the locked room. And so comes back to that, huh? It's been half a month since we left Japan. And all this time, you've been crammed into that wardrobe? Can you refrain from saying the word cram? Please pardon me. Let's say you enjoyed the voyage from the comfort of your own personal hiding place. Well, I had to stay hidden since we had no idea when sailors might enter the cabin. That's the reason I was crammed inside the wardrobe for most of the trip. Of course, I was stuck in there all throughout the night as well. So because of that, you didn't wake up during the incident. It's hurt so much to think about it. Here we go. Mr. Nikomina's cabin. Yes, that's right. Just before his death, Asugi was something there, yes? Near that area, there was a speckled band. However, Mr. Nikomina seems to have no idea anything about the airtime. But is that really true? I don't know. I can't afford to let myself forget that I'm still the suspect in this too. Nikomina, though, he just has the look of someone who's been caught red-handed. January, SS Eclair, first class cabins. Oh, look, Naruhodo. Mr. Stroganov is nowhere to be seen. So, what? You know, that extremely brawny Russian sailor from before. Ugh, I just can't seem to commit any Russian names to memory. What in the... I heard the sound of someone's loud enthusiastic humming nearby. That ridiculously obnoxious voice sounds rather familiar. Well, putting aside the singer for a minute, we have a perfect opportunity right here. Yes, let's renew our efforts. And seize this opportunity to investigate Miss Nikomina's cabin. Right, let's hurry and get started before that Mr. Stroganov something gets hacked. Mr. Stroganov! There he is. Ah, that's Mr. Holmes. Wow, you never know where he'll pop up next. He appears to be stealing glances at something between hums. Even though we're clearly staring right at him, he's still singing his heart out. He does seem to be in high spirits. Oh, his name. Everyone knows it. They're so nice. Excuse me? Yes, his name is Sherlock Holmes. Ah! Oh, what? You again? Okay, that was funny. Ah! Like he just wants to get into some fisticuffs. Man, don't disturb people while they're singing. I was about to reach the crescendo. Well, you kept building it up to your name, so I ain't but never saying it. So I thought I'll deal it for you. You were discussing getting a face full of my pride. That's right hook. Alright, I get it. Can you please put those fists of fury away now? So, Mr. Holmes, we seem to have caught you in the middle of investigating something just now. Ah, yes, I suppose you mean this. Why, this is a ship's log that outrageously muscular sailor wrote in before he left. The ship's log. Wasn't there anything unusual in it? The contents of last night's entry are particularly blank after 2 a.m. So in other words, there was nothing out of the ordinary last night. What more could I expect from a Japanese exchange student? Clad in darkness? Huh? You got it backwards, my young friend. What do you mean? You look at some of the other pages, I think you'll understand. It appears that the good sailor's assignment was to keep a close watch on this corridor. The typical regulation is to record nothing unusual in the log entry every 30 minutes or so. Every 30 minutes or so? Nothing unusual. Needless to say, if nothing of note occurred, nothing unusual will be written here. But as it so happens, the log entry for last night is blank. There are no reports at all. So could it possibly mean that? I believe that last night the good sailor left on vacation due to some circumstances. And what should the circumstances be? Well, I still don't know. It might have just been quite a circumstance. I read it. So much that it slipped his mind to write nothing unusual in the ship's log afterwards. Sure, this information I found will be taken note of. Well, let's do this. Looks like his self-proclaimed title as Gregor technically has at least son married to it. Now since you're finally beginning to grasp why I'm the famous Mr. Holmes. This guy's still full of himself. Ow. Is something wrong? Oh no, I'm fine. My head has just been rather heavy today. Let's say it's pounding. Huh? Well then, lady and gentlemen, may our paths cross against her. Humming is finally trailing off. What's in your mind, Sasato? You seem to be lost in thought. Well, to be honest, mine has been hurting as well. Huh? Ever since this morning, my head has felt so heavy for some reason. It's like a constant pounding. So you too. You then. Why everyone has a headache? I think it's related to something. Okay, let's go to Nikomina's cabin. Area 9, it says clear. First class cabin number 2. It doesn't look like Mikomina's returned yet. Sato, where did she go? Wait, Sato, you can't just... Time is in our side. We have to investigate when we can, wherever we can. Okay, we're doing this for Asugi after all. Not just for Asugi. Huh? It won't be long before we reach the next port, Hong Kong. Are you sure you still want to be wearing those handcuffs when we arrive? Susato. It's up to us and us alone to solve this case. Alright, let's do it. These books have all fallen over. Not a single one is left standing. Is that statue of the Garden of God seen? It's all on the side. Wait a minute. I feel like we've seen something like this before. In Asugi's cabin. Do you think, by any chance, that Miss Nikomina knocked all these things over when she was practicing her dancing? We should really be working on her dancing the first day after she defected. Well, then, did you make her lose her temper causing her to knock everything down in her fury? Like I've been saying, please stop blaming everything that happens on me! Anyway, let me put things back as they were. This will also bother me otherwise. Well, that's the same trunk from earlier. It's wide open. It's entirely empty, but according to the great detective's deductions, Nikomina has been hiding her friend inside of it. Yes, and she feels compelled to keep that a secret. Because the SS Clara doesn't allow animals to be brought in aboard, right? She's supposed to stop in this trunk. And what could have gone since we were last here? Naruto, are you still here? Yes, I've been here the whole time. Oh, good. I was worried that if I took my eyes off you, you would shut yourself in that wardrobe. Do you think I'm some kind of freak who has to jump inside every available wardrobe? From the looks of it, I don't think either of us will fit in here. It's full of beautiful garments. They don't look like they were made to be used on stage. Too bad. I was hoping Nikomina's little animal friend might be hiding here. So this area is connected to Asugi's cabin, right? Yes, although I still don't really understand why it was built that way. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe so that in the unlikely event of a gas leak, the person next door will notice. But wouldn't that mean the person in the other room would also be breathing the gas? Oh, you have a point. So Asugi saw a speckled band around that bed last night. Uh-oh. Warning! This is not a drill. A chip has been for 500 yards ahead. We will make a sharp turn to avoid collision. All hands prepare for possible impact. But what is happening? It sounds as if she's about to collide with another one. What? Oh no! I'm losing my footing. Sato, grab on me! Ah! Sato, are you alright? Are you injured? No, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Naruto. Looks like we're aboard of the collision. The ship has... It appears the ship has stopped. Naruto, are you hurt at all? No, I'm okay. Hello, is anyone there? Please respond. That voice. It's Detective Hosonaga. Is that you, Naruto? Please undo the bolt, quickly! The bolt? Oh, look, Nanahara. Well, it's locked. Sara, did you bolt the door? No, I didn't touch it at all. That's strange. How did it... In... these books? This entire scene... I've seen it before. Alright, I'm going to unbolt the door. I should clean up this mess and put the room back how it was before. The emergency stop was too flashy to have simply been called a mystery. It was certain there would have been something unpleasant awaiting us beyond the door. We couldn't help but think about it as I slowly began cleaning the dispelled room. Okay, what's going on? Okay, this is turning more interesting. Let's continue. 9 January, SS Eclair, Nikamina's cabin. The door has somehow been bolted shut during the ship's emergency maneuvers. Solder brewing in a deep thread and boards as he unbolted the hatch. Filthy rats, what are you doing in Nikamina's cabin? It appears that the both of you are unharmed. Yes, we are. What exactly just happened? I heard something from the speaking to you about ships colliding, but... that appears to have been a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? An emergency warning was indeed sounding through the entire ship. However, the ship merely made a temporary stop due to low visibility caused by the sea's fog. Ship is smashed, passengers going crazy, and Captain is red with fury. At the moment, only the first class area remains calm. I see. If it falls on all right now, then there have been someone who pushed the bottom. Then, Dai Gyakuten Saiban. You really put her all into that tree. You opened drunk without asking? Huh? Oh, no, it wasn't us. That's right. The trunk had already been opened when we came back in earlier. Mr. Detective. Yes. Catch this, man. I am knowing everything. These men, he's murdered a dude, yes. Exactly, and a stowaway too. Ugh. Hey, listen, trespassing. Murderer, stowaway, intruder. No end to your trouble, is there? I really can't excuse myself out of this one. Ship has solitary sail. You go in installation now. Installation. We arrive at Hong Kong tomorrow. Then you arrive in police custody. Isolation cell. Mr. Kasanaga, isn't there anything we can do? We are on a Russian ship. I have no authority as an officer of the law here. Well, I convinced the captain to be landing before. I fear that will no longer be possible. No. I gotta find a way to get out of this pinch. Quick! What the hell are you doing there? This detective is really something. What are you doing over there? Mr. Sherlock Holmes? What the hell is wrong with you? Mr. Sherlock Holmes? And I don't know, this guy is just an enigma. Oh, you know, I wanted to feel the weight of 20,000 rubles in my hand. For you see, a detective must be able to comprehend anything and everything. I swear there were no hijinks afoot indeed. I would never steal from anyone. Putting that aside, why were you hanging from the closet? from the clothes hook on the wall. Then I simply wanted to experience the profanity of being 20,000 rubles, and to crush that cheeky hood poking his head out of the wall with a snap. It's no use. I honestly can't figure out what in the world he's talking about. Are you that self-proclaimed great detective? Hello, good detective. I've been looking for all of you, actually. I wish to report some information. You'll be so kind as to allow it. I must not be a great detective. I have no discern to hang from the wall. So what is it? What is this information? When it comes to a great detective's report, there can only be one subject to discuss. Namely, regarding the mysterious murder that occurred on the SS Eclair last night. I have just completed the solve it, ladies and gentlemen. Here is my report. What did you just say? I brought this matter to its conclusion. There should be no other possibility. I shall now elucidate the matter to you. Something only a great detective can do. A great detective's great deduction. So here we go. So, what nonsense is this? We already know the identity of culprit. Is that so? We handcuffs. No other possibility. It wasn't me! Yet, there are no other individuals who could carry out the murder. Oh, the cannon was locked from within the bolted hatch. The culprit must have been inside a cabin. There's no other reasonable explanation. This is just like the lockroom murders that you see in detective novels, isn't it? She is right, the lockroom thing. Lockroom? They're right. These doors can't possibly be unbolted from the other side. I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but that cabin was not a perfect lockroom. Huh? There is, in fact, one other entrance to the crime scene. That entrance was the one used by the culprit when the crime was committed. What is this other entrance you speak of? Even now it lies open before your very eyes. The air duct. The air duct, you say? You cannot be serious. You could not fit even an arm into a shape as small as this one. Well, at least not your giant arm. So you're saying the culprit entered the cabin through that tiny shaft? And who exactly was capable of doing that? As it turns out, last night, the victim himself witnessed the culprit's appearance. Could you be referring to the contents of the journal we found on Cosima's deck? 1 hour and 33 minutes after midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speck of band at the air duct. Precisely. The speckled band. What could it possibly be? The answer to that mystery is hiding somewhere in this very room. Mr. Holmes? What do you mean? Worry not, all will be well. There may be a bit of a ruckus though. Feast your eyes and unveil something truly mystifying yet intriguing. There! That! Ah! That! What the hell? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me the pleasure introducing the true identity of the fearsome speckled band. That's a snake, isn't it? Just so. Mr. Holmes, may I ask a question? Yes, please, by all means. Hey, Snake, how do I put it? I don't know if I'd really call it a speckle. No matter how I look at it, it's more striped than anything else. Well, yes, that doesn't seem more accurate. It's more of a striped band. You've noticed an interesting fact. However, what if we were to tell you that this very fact is part of the culprit's devious trap? What? You're saying it's a trap? And what kind of trap would that be? Allow me to elucidate. The time has come to reveal my findings. Do you understand the possible implications of what I'm about to say, Miss Nikomina? The Japanese man died. That's from my YouTube channel. This is not from here, okay? You need to put this up. I mean, nothing at all. Just like last time, I have come to a conclusion. First of all, last night your friend slid into the Bacon's cabin. And secondly, your friend took the Bacon's life. Oh. Nicomina's turning pale again. It looks like his two conclusions have hit the mark again. So this young lady's friend was the one who took Asuki's life? That's like got him in a buy script. He can't get any worse out. Good sailor, I suggest that you remain absolutely still. If you were to embrace a snake and suffer a bite, it will not end well for you. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes' Theater of Logic and Reason. Deduction start. The game is afoot. Topic 1, the intruder. Miss Nikomina, you said this yourself. I am knowing nothing. Nothing at all. However, you are unable to lie to yourself. Inevitably, it's only natural you'll feel pain in your heart upon recalling the events. I'm very saying pain is the evidence of your relation to the big descent. But who was the one who trespassed seen last night, you ask? That will be the friend you carried on board the ship, wouldn't it? As I thought, your line of sight is shifted this time as well. Naturally, your friend is that snake. However, if that were the case, one problem presents itself. It was a speckled band that was witnessed by the victim last night. And yet, unfortunately, no matter how you look at it, you cannot call this snake a speckled band. So then, what did the victim see last night? Don't look. I am knowing nothing about these two. Undoubtedly, the answer to that question is I just tried to hide. Just as that snake skin without a doubt. Undoubtedly, after that incident, your friend sheds his skin. Isn't that right? What are you talking about? Last night, the snake covered its speckles, sneaked through the entrance over there. Guided by that call bell, it slowly slithered down to the roof. In the dim light, the victim saw as a speckled band. Therefore, the identity of your friend who sneaked into the scene is a most unusual snake capable of changing its appearance by shedding. I wonder if such a snake exists within the realms of India. Conclusion: Buckle Snake. Topic 2: Fatal injury. Next, let's get into the core matter of his death. How and why was the victim's life robbed from him? From the information I have, the course did not show a single trace of external injury. Undoubtedly, the truth behind the victim's lives in this deadly poison. And so, if that is indeed the truth, is it possible the crime scene still contains hints about the murder? You're lying. Undoubtedly, by examining the corpse, we can prove the cause of death. There should be a small, near invisible trace of poisonous fang on the victim's body, the trace of your friend, the terrible venomous snake bite. Just what are you talking about? Miss Nicomina, it is pointless to fake ignorance. After the incident, you made sure to hide everything, correct? Undoubtedly, your line of sight leads straight to the location of concealment. The evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk. When we first entered this cabin, that trunk moved. The murder weapon, the snake, happened to rattle at the moment, right? By the way, the victim had heard a soft sound akin to a whistle before the incident. That is the signal you blew in order to manipulate your snake. Manipulate? You let your snake loose into that air dog and call it back after a set period of time. It was unknown if the bite landed, so you decided to investigate the room. The victim was still alive. Your plan just to send the snake again. And this, I imagine, is just what the snake was trained to do. You're wrong. Guided by the cobweb from the entrance with his poisonous fang, one little bite. That venom ran straight to the victim's body, snuffing his life embers up for all eternity. That is precisely the true identity of the spectral band which robbed the victim's life. I can only hold that my deductions is incorrect. Him venomous snake bite. And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed. Miss Nicomina had been training the snake to be used as a weapon. However, there is this milk platter. I suppose milk was a milk. I surmise milk was the treat used to assist with the training. Amazing. This time the mystery was solved for sure. Good heavens, that was a production. Really is a great detective, Sherlock Holmes. Oh, please. This is but the first step. It is certainly help at least stave off my boredom. However, excuse me. A moment, please, Mr. Holmes. Yes, of course. Tell me what's on your mind. There is one thing I'm just so much curious about regarding the deduction. Ah, yes, questions are certainly welcome. I'll be glad to answer them firmly and precisely. Thank you. First, snakes are born from eggs, therefore they're classified as reptiles. I see. You know yourself. Reptiles do not drink milk. Ah. Only animals that will willingly drink milk are mammals. I do not think that one could drink snake with milk. Ah, yes. I'm sure they should try using a different treat. Milk is just an example. This problem is not important to the investigation. Next, snakes do not have ears. Huh. Therefore, I don't think it would be possible to manipulate the creature with a whistle. However, you know those stories. There are talks of snakes which thrill and dance to the foods in the land of Arabia. That food is played to match the movements of the snake. It just appears otherwise. Is that so? No arms, legs, or ears. Just how simple of a creature are you, snake? Please don't take out your frustration on the snake. So, now I move on to my next point. There's more? A snake uses the scales on its stomach to move. It would be impossible for it to descend using something as flat as this bell rope. But why? Getting mad at me won't change the fact that it is strange. Anyway, even if you send the snake to the air dock, it cannot return by itself. Therefore, no matter how you look at it, it would be very difficult for a snake to commit this crime. The ship broke, Holmes. The ship broke his spirits. With all that said, it's time to do it again, Naruhodo. By do it, you mean... Yes, it's time to return to that deduction into a great deduction. I should have expected to come to this. Understood, let's do this. That's just what I wanted to hear, Master Naruhodo. Yeah. Take a look at your hand this time as well. My hand, sir? Ah, again! The handcuffs, they're gone. What then? And like before, there's no need to worry. You can have the bag when we're finished. Trust me, I'm not very worried about it. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come, one and all, to Sherlock Holmes' Theater of Logic and Reason. Review star. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. That guy should be Houdini. Mr. Kamina, you said it yourself. I am knowing nothing. Nothing at all. However, you are unable to lie to yourself. Undoubtedly, it's only natural you'll feel pain in your heart upon recalling the events. Nikomina really does like she is in a great deal of pain. Yes, indeed. She appears to feel truly guilty about Cosmo's death, but consider her obvious confusion at what Holmes was saying, that means there's a difference meaning to her facial expressions. Well then, let's make sure we truly respect Miss Nikomina. Look at this! This looks like it's got her. She must have got scratched by some small animal. Not only that, but it looks like it happened recently. However, I don't recall seeing any kind of small animal around here. Let's see if we can analyze more. Hi! Hi! Undoubtedly, it's only natural you're feeling your claw wound upon recalling the events. No doubt, from the looks of it, the wound is still fresh. Nikomina, could it be that your claw wound was inflicted last night? I am regretting that man died, and when I am regretting, this one hurts. That very same thing is the evidence of your relation to the victim's death. But who was the one trespassing to the scene that night, you ask? That would be the friend you carry on board the ship, wouldn't it? As I saw, your line of sight shifted this time as well. Naturally, your friend is that snake. Regarding the claw wound, it must have been a wound caused by her friend, right? But snakes don't have claws, do they? Right. To begin with, they don't even have any claws, any hands or claws to grow from. If that's the case, just what could the true identity of her friend be? If we look towards where Mikami unconsciously directed her gaze, I'm sure we will find the answer. Let's examine this picture frame. This is a photograph. It must be something Nikamina brought on board with her. Miss Nikamina is really quite beautiful. That's definitely true. But if you ask me, I'm more interested in that little black one over here. We should take a closer look at this photograph. This must be a cat. The Nikamina is embracing right here. This is certainly an adorable kitten. It could give you a good run for your money in terms of blackness. Black kitten, huh? The one it appears to be quite fond of Nikamina. Hi! Naturally, your friend is that kitten. Right, one look at that claw and it becomes painfully clear. A black kitten. I don't know where it is now, but you brought it along as you sought asylum, correct? Lucky, it's my friend. Cannot leave behind. So the kid's name is Blackie. However, if that were the case, then one problem presents itself. It was a speckled bandit that begged him with us last night. However, no matter how you look at it, this kitten looks nothing like a speckled bandit. So then, what did the victim see last night? Don't know. I am knowing nothing about these two. Undoubtedly, the answer to that question is to just try to hide. Thus is that snake again, without a doubt. Miss Nikamina, she took up what was in her pocket and hid it behind her back without thinking. If she had kept it in her pocket, she would have gotten away with it. I would expect almost from Holmes forte is gloves. Sharing the greatest detective's forte bit is deductions. At any rate, it is difficult to believe that would have been cast of a snake's skin. Then what on earth? Just what is Nikamina trying to hide? I'm certainly a speck on a band like, but what exactly is this? It's something made of a long piece of cloth, and there's another hand that's attached to the very end of it. A Western green foxtail toy. Green foxtail toy? It's a toy made for cats to play with. Kittens are especially fond of them. If you wiggle it from them, they bound to jump for it. That sounds really adorable. Hike! Thus is that cat toy without a doubt. Yes, in other words, that will be the true identity of the speckled band. You dangle that toy through the air duct, correct? You must have swung it quite fiercely. No surprise the big thing caught sight of it. However, why would she do such a thing? That goes without saying. She hoped to use a toy wearing it widely to catch her kitten's attention. And bewitched the 10-selling toy, the kitty runs home and jumps into her arm. Oh. Undoubtedly, the unity of your friend that stole the thing is not another thing. That tricky kitten, little Blackie. What a truly troublesome camp. If I ever catch sight of it, I'll catch it for you. I'll borrow that photograph of Blackie for a bit. Last night, I gave Blackie a meal. Then Blackie scratched my hand and then ran to a cowbell. Before I could move, vanished into air duct. Blackie's bad, kitty. Shh. Black kitten. Solved. Topic 2, fatal injury. Next, let's get into the core matter of his death. How and why was the victim's life robbed from him? From the information I have, the corpse does not show a single trace of external injury. Undoubtedly, the truth behind the victim's license is deadly poison. Poisons is right. It's really possible that I have wounds, yes. It looks like there's some information that Holmes isn't aware of. Also, he didn't die from poison. That certainly appears to be the case. Let's tell Holmes about that information. Hike! Undoubtedly, the truth behind the victim's death lies in this post-mortem. I just knew it had to be one or the other. His neck. The only person who could have lived without a broken neck would be that sailor over there. No, I'm pretty sure Stroganoff is human too. Anyway, the victim had his neck broken. If that is indeed a fact, it's possible the crime scene still contains hints about a murder. You're lying. Undoubtedly, by examining the corpse, we can prove the cause of death. Also, he died from a broken neck. I suppose that means he would have been struck. That is certainly possible. However, as of yet, we still don't have any potential weapons, and it's unlikely that a trespassing kitten struck him. Or perhaps he had to topple over due to the poor footing and was struck in a bad spot. Unfortunately enough, that could have very well broken his neck. You might be right. Topple over due to poor footing, huh? However, this is Cosmo we're talking about. It's difficult to believe that he could have been so clumsy. Regardless, we'll have to make the right change. Just what could the remaining trace of Asugi's death be? Hike! Undoubtedly, by examining the floor markings, we can prove the cause of death. There really were traces of shoe polish on the floor. Shoe polish? I examined it with my homemade analysis machine that I carry around for fun. Beeswax, tallow, and dye. The composition matches the shoe polish completely. Furthermore, the color of the shoe polish is the same as Asugi's leather boots. By looking at these traces, you can accurately guess what happened. It's likely that something caused him to lose his footing and tumble over. No. He must have been unfortunate. He has had an unfortunately suffered a severe impact to his neck and fell to the floor. The instant the victim took that fatal anger to the cervical vertebrae, he took his last breath. Oh. Him knowing nothing at all. Is that really true? Then the victim perished. A certain piece of evidence remained on the scene. When the victim... Indeed, now then. You must have desperately tried to hide that damning piece of evidence, didn't you? Undoubtedly your line of sight leads straight to the location concealed. The evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk. No. Cosimo died because he tripped over and fell. Is that all? That must be a lie. I refuse to believe such a thing. But there's no denying the traces on the floor show exactly that. Ugh. Plus, according to Holmes' theory, Nikomina tried to hide the evidence of the incident. It lies within this cabin, directly in Nikomina's line of sight. Just where did Miss Nikomina hide it? Let's investigate this truly. The answer must be there. This is the cabin's wastebasket. Nikomina only bought it just last night, so I doubt there'll be much rubbish piled in there. Wait, this is a piece of glass. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. I don't think it's just your imagination. Hike! The evidence that you took the victim's life is hidden within your waste paper basket. I've seen this beautiful piece of glass somewhere before. Undoubtedly, take this fragment was found on the floor of Asugi's cabin and... like so, it fits perfectly. Come now, Miss Nikomina. Will you kindly explain yourself? Why is that piece of broken glass found at the scene of the crime? It's in your cabin's waste paper basket. I'm sure you're familiar with this glass spell. You're correct, I am nothing. Won't work here. You're wondering why. There is the decisive evidence that proves your connection to it. Huh? Is it? Right. Master Naruto? Yes. This is a piece of evidence that links Nikomina to the glass spell. Hi! It's clearly depicted in this photograph, hanging from Blackie's neck. It's none other than the very same glass spell. Miss Nikomina, you can no longer run. The victim fell on the cabin floor and lost his life with a terrible twist of fate. And that fated fall had something to do with your friend Blackie. No matter what, I cannot eat this. Sorry. Tripped over kitten. Solve. Deduction complete. Elementary. Miss Nikomina, please, can you tell us just what exactly happened last night? It was last night, hour after midnight, when I gave Blackie a meal. He went mad and ran away from me. I heard that cats become very nervous when placed in a new environment. Kitty disappeared into air duct then. So it was then that your hand was scratched. Yes. I know the ship regulations cannot bring Kitty on the ship. Animals carry pathogens that can spread diseases. It's still frightening to allow them. So I listened to cabin next door. It was very quiet there, probably sleepy, I thought. And so you tried calling back the kitten in secret, did you? You tried waving back his back. His cat toy to that Erda. He always brought Blackie back, but this time, I used toy, I whistled, but Blackie does not return. So that little whistle I actually heard was meant to call back the kitten. I heard the kitties will hide on the cupboard and refuse to come out if they're afraid. I had no choice but to wait for the kitty to calm down. Then... I thought I heard stuff. Suddenly I heard loud noise, then a huge sounds, and then I heard nothing else. Asuki. Judging from the marks left on the floor of the crime scene, the victim most likely stepped on the glass bell when he lost his footing. Although the Eclair may be a colossal ship, it can swing around with incredible force. It could be as he was falling, a nervous kitten grabbed himself around his feet. As this continuous, fortunate incidents piled on, he could do very little to prevent his fall. In any case, what happened with the kitten afterwards? Later, he responded to my calls and returned from AirDoc. However, little Blackie is nowhere to be seen right now. Forgot to lock that trunk. Kitty wandered off again. Good grief. That kitty cat's as restless as I am. So he is aware that he's restless. Morning came, I heard that man next door is dead, but I could not see this. If people know true about me, I had to go back. That scares me. Oh, if that's all true then, what about the snake? That's right. If that isn't Mikomina's friend, then why? Why is there such a really dangerous animals aboard this? Why is there such a screaming animal aboard this ship? Oh, forgot to mention the snake. His friend, you see, name is Piroshko. What? 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 You're saying that that's your snake? It escaped from cage during a lawn ruckus earlier. I was looking for it. But has been here all along? Ha! How did it escape in the first place? However, isn't it forbidden to carry animals aboard the ship? We're sailing together for over a year now, yes? Sergeant Prince cannot be torn apart. I wouldn't ask any other friends. Real friends, anyway. Look here, Mr. Sailor. It's a big, venomous snake, Falsies. Who would like that sort of thing? It is not venomous. What? See Piroshki is long but harmless to man and an animal. What an adorable friend. Harmless? It's just grumpy from hunger right now. Give food to bring back cuteness. So by food, you don't mean things like milk or such things as we could be in fairy tales. Piroshko love mice, round fat mice. So correct me if I'm wrong. That mousetrap along on the cabin corridor is, yes, It is a trap to catch Piroshki's favorite food. Wow, the circle of life is pretty harsh. For not drink near or hear whistles or climb a cover or even be venomous. Indeed, one could say, the fool doesn't have a leg to stand on! Who the hell cares? Don't yell at me again! Do not yell at me again. Anyway, Piroshka has nothing to do with incident. So this is a truth behind Asugi's death. Nikomina Borshestvik. I listen to the position you have been put through is rough, and I sympathize with you. However, that said, should you take a man's knife and light in hopes of escaping your final punishment, would be purely despicable, no matter how dire your circumstances may be. Huh? Huh? What are you trying to say? Hasn't all this mystery been clearly unraveled before us? Everything that was hinged on an unfortunate off-chance accident. I am not able to see things as well as Holmes can, but I know for a fact this cannot be the truth. What do you think, Naruhodo? Frankly, I felt it myself too. There is something out of place in Nikomina's words. To be honest, I have thought to leave everything after this to the Scotland Yard. What? There is only one reason why I'm investigating this accident. Simply because you were an eyesore, Master Naruhodo. Huh? You mean me? Those cuts binding your hands simply bother me to no end. Ah! Again? When did he? I felt almost as if I had placed those handcuffs onto you myself, you see? In any case, I thought to do something about this before the ship chips in Hong Kong. Mr. Holmes. However, there was one thing that slipped my mind. The departed victim was a very friend to both of you. That's the truth, isn't it? Yes, Asugi was my best friend, and the man who saved me. Then, the truth that lies beyond this point should be sought out by your very own eyes. My own eyes? That feeling I got from Nikomina's words. Perhaps if I pursue, I might be able to find the truth. The true story behind your death will finally come to light. I understand. I'll give it a shot. That's the spirit. Naruhodo. Now, shall we begin, Master Naruhodo? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, then, the first thing we ought to consider is the victim's scores within the log cabin. Was that really the result of an accident, or perhaps it was not an accident at all? Let's make this clear first. Well, as I was just saying, the kid went through the air duct and caused his fall. It was clearly an accident. Mata! Wait! Hold on a second. That line of thought is obviously flawed. Might it beg an explanation? That's right, it's slowly becoming clearer. The contradiction behind Asagi's death is glaring obvious. Simply put, Asagi's cabin holds decisive evidence to the contrary. His death was not a mere accident. What did you say? In that case, show me your so-called evidence. Show me evidence that proves the death of the victim was just not an accident. Hike! It's clearly shown in this photograph. It would have been impossible for Asagi to write that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that writing is in Russian, isn't it? Precisely. It means wardrobe. It would have been natural if Zion message was in Japanese. However, what if he learned Russian? Russian is easy, surprisingly easy. I cannot doubt that. Well, whatever the case, it doesn't matter. What do you mean? As I said before, it was impossible for Asagi to have left that message. And the reason for that is good reading here. Instant death from trauma to the cervical vertebrae. Instant death. In other words, he could have not written those words after falling to the floor. After all, he was already dead. And that's not all. I recall one other issue regarding Kasumi's cabin. No matter how you look at it, the traces of the scene contradicts an accidental death. What do you say? This is how to notice it too. There's still something that strikes me as odd, even putting aside the Russian message. And the piece of evidence that proved wasn't just an accident. Let me save. Hike! It's these marks on the floor here. But couldn't those left behind by the glass? Couldn't those left behind by the glass barrel was split into two? Something that could have happened, but the building was falling over. Yes, that's right. You think that way, there shouldn't be any problem. Unfortunately, there is one fatal flaw in your reasoning. What? If that was really the case, then why in the world was the other half of the broken bell found in the other cabin? The other half of the glass bell was found in this waste paper basket. Are you offered us an explanation, Miss Nikomina? Thus, the prudence revealed by this two pieces of evidence can only be as follows. When Asagi died, he was not alone. Another person was in the cabin. Furthermore, that person tampered with the scene of the crime to escape from the crime they committed. When the incident occurred, there was another person present at the scene. Oh, that! Ha! Rubbish! Another person, you say? We already knew! What do you mean, sir? What the? You all forget the stowaway cabin! When it changed to another person was you! Hike! Indeed, I was present in the cabin during that time. To be more precise, he was stuffed inside that cabin wardrobe. But if I was a culprit, how could you explain the Russian message left behind? To be more precise, it's not that you couldn't write it, it was like you didn't know how to. Excuse me, could you please shut up for a moment? Well, pardon me. Anyways, the culprit wore wardrobe on the floor in Russian. In order to frame me, he sound asleep inside the wardrobe for this crime. Furthermore, they retrieved a piece of the glass bell lying on the floor. They removed it from the scene because it would have become evidence of Cosima's murder. But if that were true, there would be no point unless all the fragments were discarded. How was that the scene? Did you not find that strange? Well, the crime occurred 1 past midnight. The cabin's interior must be rather dark. Light was provided by one small lamp. Little of it must have reached the floorboards. If you would imagine, it would be unimaginable for the killer to have overlooked some glass. Everyone is suspecting me. All that! Mr. Stroganoff. This girl was originally daughter of Saiban. 2 years ago, scouted for talent and sold to ballet group. Until then, this here was her stage. She danced with band and for sailors. No more accusations against our ship's delicate fairy. I never could have imagined. When exchange student died, you think this girl was in cabin too? It's not possible. No chance in hell, ever! Huh. How intriguing. Why are you able to declare that with such conviction? You already know, great detective. Door cabin was locked from within. Nikomina is not only one with alibi, it's also true for everyone else. Entering cabin would be impossible. Gag! He's right. But now that you mention it, I have read such things in the mystery novel book. At moments like these, a thread and needle could be used to open the door from outside. Thread and needle? Ridiculous! Doors in this case were built strong, cannot be opened by flimsy thread and needle. What you say is fact. This door is a steamship after all. In order to keep water out, it is made of heavy iron. Not even magnets would work. That's like that. It was simply because Mr. Naruto had spoken of this earlier. Sato, you're mean! Then, as I uniquely presume, I'll let you the door from the outside. It's impossible. But it's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. What are you saying? Allow me to say this. If you were to leave that door to me, I could let you shop without even so much as touching it at once. Huh? And right now, this cabin holds a trace of that very method. Are you serious? How about you, Master Naruto? Do you know of such method? A method of latching the cabin door shut from the outside. Indeed, you're right. I can think of one way. Is that true, Naruto? Yes, after all, we both witnessed it. Well then, would you kindly point out to us, Master Naruto? What is the proof that suggests the door was locked from the outside? Hike! Please take a look at that bookshelf. Various books and trinkets are scattered all over the place. It's likely that they fell down during the emergency stop earlier. Yes, there's no mistake about that, considering how massive this ship is. A tremendous force will travel through the ship's interior for it to stop so abruptly. As such, it would be only natural that a couple of small items will topple over. If I recall correctly, this force is also known as inertia. As usual, Susato sure knows about some complicated stuff. And when that force toppled over the bookshelf, there was one more thing that moved within this cabin. And that will be the latch on the door. What? After that emergency stop earlier, I understood everything. At that time, none of us had latched the door. Despite that... No, is anyone here? Please respond! That voice. He's Detective Hasanaga. That's right. When the ship stopped, the door had latched shut. This door's latch may be made of metal, but it is small and lightweight. Due to the earlier mentioned force, inertia, it had moved from its place. Could you be implying that last night, after the incident had occurred, this ship, yes, is a clear pull over an emergency stop. When I woke up this morning, I couldn't help but feel that something was off. The books and trinkets on the bookshelf had all fallen over. It was as if a whirlwind swept into the room. It looked like like it does right now. Oh, now that you mention it, the items were scattered about. Although everything is neatly put back together right now. That's why right after this room, I was very surprised. Everything was scattered across the floor. The room was in the very same shape as Kazuki's. Your opinions, Miss Nikomita? This is a clear stop. Ridiculous! He is right. Stopping the ship is no simple task. Or are you implying that the culprit is one of the ship's engineers? Oh, come on now. The matter is nothing that complicated, my fellow. What? It's even on the walls of the corridor. The emergency alarm, that is. Yes, that's true. In the event of an emergency, the spotter needs to be perched. It's clearly waiting in the hallway. During these foggy nights, those on lockout cannot ensure safety with their eyes alone. And such buttons are installed on the ship to allow the crew to issue emergency warnings. Such a fascinating button just begs to be pushed, at least once or twice. Then when that button is pressed, an emergency alarm is sounded, causing the ship to stop completely and alert everyone on the ship of the situation. Just like earlier. Excuse me. Could it be that you... It's my belief that buttons exist for the sole purpose of being pushed. At any time, in any way. This great detective is actually saying that with such beaming expression. You rat! Who are you thinking you are? I will report this to Captain. Be ready for punishment. Calm down, my friend. Why don't we postpone that to a later time? Anyway, with the alarm raised, I was able to confirm something. If this shield was to make an emergency stop, the cabin latches would lock themselves. And so there is but one question to ponder next. That would be, of course, whether or not last night after Consummate incident, this ship made an emergency stop, correct? It is not that simple. Giant steamships cannot just make emergency stops. Such an incident would wake everyone from their beds. What do you think, Master Naruto? It could be that last night there was some kind of emergency stop made by the ship, and it might be to prove that it happened at the very least. What? Does such evidence really exist, Naruto? That is highly interesting. Please show it to us, by all means. What is the evidence that suggests the ship made an emergency stop last night? Hi! Mr. Stroganoff, you were on security lookout for the first-class cabin area, correct? Huh? I mean, yes. What about it? This ship's log is record of that lockout, correct? Ah, that is not mine. Ah, yes. It looked like you accidentally forgot about it and left it on the desk. So I took the responsibility of taking it from it into my custody in order to bring it back to you. It was not an accident. I left it on purpose. In any case, if you take a look through the record, at regular 30-minute intervals, nothing unusual is written within the log. However, starting from 2 a.m., there was not a single record written at all. Not a single record? That is just... well, obviously it was nothing unusual. If there was nothing unusual, then nothing unusual should have been written. Look! Undoubtedly, in other words, after 2 a.m., on board the Eclair, something had happened. Something important enough to cause someone to even forget the ever so important ship's log. And that would be the emergency stop. Don't be making ridiculous assumptions. To be honest, I also think there are probability that such a thing could have happened. And why is that? Well, just think about it, considering the magnitude of such incident. No matter the circumstances, certainly we would have noticed. That is true. After all, we just had a taste of that emergency stop ourselves. Such an incredible alarm, such an incredible swing. No matter how deep it could have been, we could have woken up with it. Well, you certainly have a point there. Have you all not noticed the throbbing as well? What? What do you be referring to? Your heads. For some reason, ever since this morning, my head has just been killing me. Now that you mention it, I have not been feeling up to speed for whatever reason, ever since this morning. I as well. My head has been feeling heavy all morning. As I have suspected, it's been much the same for everyone. That's right. Now that I think about it, it's been the same for me as well. After eating dinner last night, I ended up feeling drowsy all of a sudden. I somehow made it to the wardrobe, but I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up this morning, the first thing I felt was the throbbing pain in my head. By the time I came to my senses, I was dragged out of the wardrobe, with both hands cuffed. There was no way I would have woken up from something like that. Oh, by the way, Master Naruhodo, you are the impotent stowaway who boarded this ship, correct? Yes, such to my shame. A stowaway shouldn't have been receiving meals. How about your meal? Oh, that's, well, you know, also you shared just a bit of his meal with me. If memory serves, the menu last night was roasted chicken. Oh, come to think of it, I ate all of it last night. Also, it wasn't a big pan of chicken. Also, the victim did not eat a single bite of the chicken. That's right, but why is that important? Okay, I'll be right back for a minute. My nose is getting stuffy and this is already bothering me. I'll be right back. I'm back and I hate stuffy noses. God damn it. Why is it important? After saying that information yourself, have you not come to realize anything? Huh? Might you be saying that the chicken was abnormal? Exactly. Ah, so that's what it was. The food provided by this ship last night was tampered with. When eating, you will be lured into sweet sleep. That kind of tampering. Sleeping drugs, you mean? In that case, in order to put the ship into an emergency stop, the culprit put sleeping drugs on all the food? Not a hoodle. I think that is too much impossible of a tax to pull off. Exactly. If it is impossible to drop all the food on the ship, assuming that the entire crew was not cooperating together on the matter, that is. What? What? What are your thoughts, good sailor? Huh? I am of the opinion that it will be difficult to cover up this matter any further. If you do not wish to talk, then I will request an official investigation on this ship. If it were to come to that, I imagine that everyone under the captain will be punished. Under the crime of assisting a defection. That is enough. I will tell everything. What? I do not want to trouble sailors. At one point, you were all comrades who traveled together, right? That is why I asked them for help when they ran away. All sailors wanted to help. Help princess who abandoned her motherland and her ballet troupe. How in heavens could this be? As you say, last night's chicken was drugged heavily. Now that I think about it, there were some bitter lumps mixed in. Ah yes, sleeping drugs probably did not dissolve all the way. What kind of spice is that? Around midnight, Princess boarded out a ship in a greyhound area in open ocean. Smugglers bring her on a small fishing boat. And we, the passengers, remain sound asleep without realizing a single thing. Thanks to the sweet magic spell cast on the delicious chicken. Then, the people who were awake on the ship last night were the entire ship's crew, as well as those who helped the deep-rooted hatred of chicken, and the new passenger of the ship, Nikomina. In other words, it would have been possible for you to utilize the inertia from the ship's emergency stop to shut the door. But if the events didn't pan out as you claim, wouldn't all the latches of the ship lock, causing a huge commotion? No, I don't think so. What? Oh, I see now. Last night we had all our meals within our cabins, and then we were overcome with an incredible drowsiness and went to sleep. Consequently, all the passengers were in their own cabin. Now they will be out of place as they woke up to find the latch of their cabin's door shut. And that is why not a single soul noticed anything unusual. In other words, for the sake of shutting merely one latch on the ship, the culprit had the SS Eclair make an emergency stop. You talk on and on about this, but what is your point? It is just as you heard. There is no doubt that there was a third party present at the crime scene. For the purpose of framing someone else, they left a message in Russian on the floor, and desperately hit the piece of glass that could serve as evidence. And to top it all off, they put the ship in an emergency stop to latch the scene door shut. I must say, it was a job well done. But I am knowing nothing about any of that. Keep going with your funny jargon and big words if you want. But we sailors are not caring about your fancy logic games. We do not believe until we're seeing with our own eyes. That's quite the fine accent you have there. Huh? In truth, I am of the same belief. What is seen by one's own eyes is everything. Master Naruhodo. Yes. Can you hear it? Cries of confession reverberating throughout the ship. Cries of confession? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I don't have any idea what you... The proof of the crime scene. It was a crime. It is not the ears we hear that voices. Rather, it is none other than the eyes in all stands from observation. You still make no sense. What is your point? Now, let's begin. This time, once and for all. For the sake of reaching the final truth, we'll begin the theater of logic and reason. Now, with that said, it's a pleasure to be working with you, Master Naruhodo. But Mr. Holmes, what on earth is this? It is just as I've said, we are to observe them. Observe? At the moment when Kazuma passed away, some individual have tampered with various things at the crime scene. And we're to locate trace of that happening, correct? Exactly. You catch on quickly. I got it. I'll give it a shot. I'll point out the traces of the third party present at the scene of the crime. Ah. Hey, look at this. There's an obvious stain over here. You're right. It appears to be ink. Ink. In this color. I have a good idea what this could be. Hi! Mr. Stroganoff, you have a purple stain on your white uniform. Huh? Must be smart from somewhere. Will you happen to know anything about that stain? What are you saying? As of the moment, we're still unable to pinpoint the significance of that stain. How can we go ahead and clear that up? That purple stain couldn't get on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform. I believe it's obvious that it's true identity is. Exactly. Well then, kindly present that piece of evidence if you would. Yes, sir! Those traces left on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform. The evidence that points towards their true nature is... Hike! The true identity of that stain is ink. Ink, you say? Purple color ink, a most uncommon color. You seem to have realized the meaning behind that. The Russian words on the floor of the scene of the crime were written in purple ink. It is the exact same color as the stain on your uniform. If the ink had dried, then it would have been impossible for it to stain. Therefore, immediately following the events of that ink spill, you were present in this cabin. Fine, I talk. I tell you everything I did. First, I tampered with evidence in the exchange to this cabin. A shot lad using Chip's emergency stop. All to divert suspicions away from Princess. Mitrov. It's okay, Princess. I do the talking. Was around 1 a.m. I have been keeping watch on that corridor. Princess, face pale with fear, ran over to me. Mitrov, help, please. When we reached cabin, the door was open. One look into cabin, and I saw a change student collapse on the floor. What the hell happened here? Don't tell anyone. But my friend... Princess told the truth. What happened in cabin is exactly what she said. The kitten ran into Asagi's cabin through the air duct. Asagi then tumbled over with the kitten around his feet, ending his life. Yeah, exactly. And following that, Miss Nikomina had visited the cabin next door, correct? It was there that she found the victim's corpse. I surmised that would be the case. Yeah, she heard it fall, so she went to look. Right, Princess? Cabin door was not latched shut. Princess could know in a single glance what happened in that room. I have one thing that I would like to confirm. What is it? By the time Miss Nikomina had visited Kasuma's cabin, Kasuma had already perished. Is that correct? Huh? Yes, that is what I said. When Breeze speaking to cabin, exchange student I was asking Miss Nikomina. Miss Nikomina, your answer? Huh? Yes. It is like I looked inside cabin, men in black on floor, not moving. Got so scared. I understand. I will believe those words. Now, this time for sure, that is the truth behind Asagi's death. Oh yes, that reminds me, there's something I forgot. Mr. Holmes? This photograph. Oh, this is something I took myself. The cause of death was a fracture in the cervical spine. His death was most likely instant. And the cause of all that was a kid that unfortunately caught his spin that tripped him. However, if that was indeed the case, then I'd like you to take a look at this photo. Somehow, I feel there's an unnatural element present in it. What do you mean, unnatural? Master Naruhodo, what is your opinion on the matter? Huh? Yes, sir. Again, I'm stumped. Hike! I think the unnatural area must be this area right here. That's unnatural. I wonder This one. Well, they were open. In that case, I know that I haven't darting around agency so much. Sorry, they were just a little focused. But, Mr. Holmes, surely it must have been those Russians letters at the end of Cosmos Pinkerton. That is nothing but the culprit's fabrication, just somewhere else you ought to look to. Try to imagine the scene, the big sailing trip that fell over. The next thing, think about how this hand would have been positioned. It must be quite easy to imagine, yes? After all, you said to someone who drinks quite a lot. Rude! The cause of that was smashed in the subject's back. His head was more like the instant, and the cause of all that was the kid unfortunately caught in the spit of the trip. However, if that was indeed the case, then I did look at this photo. Somehow I feel there is an unnatural element present in it. What do you mean? Hike! He had fallen forward as a result of an unfortunate incident, then his fist feels jarringly out of place. My thoughts exactly. Usually, if one were to fall, their hands will naturally be open. Despite that, the left victim's hand was clasped firmly in a fist. Yes, as if he was holding something inside his fist. What? So you see, I went ahead and investigated the contents of the victim's fist earlier. Huh? No, it was supposed to come out, ladies and gentlemen. Let us see. Please, let us see. Yes, of course. I'll let you all... Is this thing? This might be a crescent moon adorned with a piece of diamond. Indeed, this does seem like the world's most beautiful crescent moon, but... what of it? This crescent moon. I wonder what could it be. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. That's the definition of observation, Master Naruhodo. Huh. The truth will soon be clear to all. Huh. That crescent moon in this grass needs to come somewhere. Now, Master Naruhodo, it's finally time for the last clue. Just what in the world will this crescent moon reveal to us? Observe with your own two eyes. Indeed, here the sun will be sure is repeating our home. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. That's most likely the metal into her laborium. Laborium? It's essentially fancy earring. An earring, huh? It's incredibly tiny. Like the decoration is broken off. Right now, all that's left is just a metal attachment. It seems that Nikomina has yet to realize the decoration is broken off. Hi! Miss Nikomina, your ear. There is a metal fitting, but the main decoration is missing. You will see because the T chain has snapped off. Huh? What now? Plus the other ear clearly has a crescent moon there. But how? And furthermore, the crescent moon was discovered in the victim's head. The truth that I got from these facts can lead to only one conclusion. Don't you agree, Master Naruhodo? Yes. Miss Nikomina, also you had ripped this crescent moon from your ear. It's very likely that happened just before he fell onto the floor. So in other words, last night, in the instant Asuya had fallen over, you were standing right in front of him. You must know what I mean. The earring was a reachable distance of his extended hand. Then why? Why had Asuki done something like that? He plucked the earring off your ear and even thought it was dead. He kept clinging onto it. Princess. This time, for real, nobody can protect you. Please answer me, Miss Nikomina. Last night, just what did you do to Asuki? Thinking now, too many things happened yesterday. Run from Shanghai, rowboat looking for big steamship at night. And then, after such a wild day, I sit and rest in my cabin, but... Oh, when? When Kitty ran into air duct, I turned pale. I whistled and called for Kitty. I tried to bring him back with toys. But Kitty just would not come back. No. What are you doing such late hour, detective? Huh? Good part of my manners, my lady. I was certain that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit. Agent Exchange Studio was polite and understanding too. He helped me look for Blackie and promised to keep secret. But as I grabbed Blackie and tried to leave cabin... Excuse me, my lady. Please wait a moment. When? I can't help but feel as I've seen your face somewhere before, my lady. Huh? Right, you're the Russian ballerina, Miss Warchbeck, am I mistaken? What? No, I'm not knowing. I heard tracing there. I know this was dangerous discovery. Why did Asian Kid Exchange Studio and recognize Russian ballerina? I was struck by the beauty of the public ballet performance I had seen in Japan. However, tell me, why might you be on this ship? As I recall, shouldn't you be heading to Shanghai right now? I know I could not break him. I had to make friends with you so you would stay quiet, but no other option. I see, you defected. Please, do not tell anyone about Nico. If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There's someone who I wish to discuss this with. He's going to the Belltown ship's captain. He's doing nothing pathetic after all. And one instant I will stop alone. But all this happened at once. Wait, could you not help the show for hearing? Kitty jumped out of my arms and ran to the change student's feet. And then, when he turned, I turned to look back. I pushed him away hard as I could. After that, I am remembering nothing. Why push him? Still not sure. I just wanted to stop him. Wanted to stop him from telling anyone. And it was then that you decided to call for help. Specifically, help from Mr. Stroganoff, the man guarding the hallway. I heard a scream and loud noise, so I rushed to see him. in front of cabin priestess was shaking. She said, "Rob, help! If I am caught, there is no place left to run." And so you tampered with the scene of the crime in Nasugi's cabin to divert any suspicion away from the passenger in the cabin next door. Yes, it's correct. I checked both corpse and the whole cabin to be sure. Then I found him. Stowaway was sleeping like baby inside wardrobe. That would be me. At that point, you must have schemed to have the entire crime scene being on that stowaway. Is that correct? I closed wardrobe and stuck straight seal back on door. Thanks to that, I became Susada's chance to unlock her doubts on me. I moved corpse and wrote words using ink spilled on floor. Culprit hidden inside wardrobe. An hour later, which one of you cleaned up the broken glass? I did. Picked up glass shards. Did you? But the room was so dark, only found half. After this, I returned pieces to the cabin and add final touches. And so you push the alarm button along the corridor? That is correct. Thus, this is a clear resort to an emergency stop, close to 2 hours past midnight. The door was shut, thereby completing the creation of our locked room. Excuse me, Mr. Comina. Could I have a word with you? Yes. Last night, when you explained your defection to Asagi, he looked as if he was going to notify the captain. Therefore, you pushed him. You said it yourself, right? Yes, right. But hypothetically speaking, even if you rang the bell to call the captain, every single sailor in the ship is an ally to yours, right? What reason do you have to worry? The first thing that a exchange student has said to me struck me with fear. What did it say? What are you doing at such a late hour? Do pardon the manners, my lady. I'm certain that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit. Detective acquaintance. That means Sir Ozzy was referring to me, responsible as his bodyguard. If he tells this detective, I know would be arrested. So before I could ring bell, before you continue, Miss Nikomina. Okay. God damn it, you're missing the best parts. I cannot help but to be bothered by something. Are you sure that Cosmo really planned to ring the bell? Huh? Naruto, what are your thoughts? I'm not him, so I can't say for certain, but at the very least, I do know one thing. Asugi isn't the kind person to call for extra brawn out of nowhere. But he really walks so fan. He wants to ring in to deport me to Russia. Well, Master Naruto, it appears we're in need of at least one more reasoning session. Reasoning, you say? What did the victim actually try to do at that moment? Just what could have laid eyes made worse signs? What could have said? Now, trust you remember where the victim was located in the cabin, yes? Yes, I can clearly recall anything about the camera, even if it was crammed within that wardrobe. I still spent practically my entire voyage in that cabin. Welcome back. Then this must be what Cosmo said last night. Yes, there's no doubt about it. I trust you're ready, then, Master Naruto. Yes, today I learned something important. Within one's line of sight, there exists a truth you may not even realize. And in order to bring that truth to light, I can't overlook anything lies within the line of sight, no matter how slight. When Asagi turned his back to Nikamina, this is what was in his line of sight. Hi! Correct! Considering the circumstances last night, it's true that it would have appeared as if Asagi was about to ring the cowbell. Undoubtedly, however, besides the call bell was a wardrobe. Wardrobe. And within that wardrobe was his friend, sleeping ever so sound. Miss Nikamina, please remember that victim, Kazuma. What are you saying at that moment? If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There's someone who I wish to discuss this with. Discuss? He had no intention of calling the crew. He simply wanted to wake up his good friend and discuss how they could help you. Is there anything we can do? Probably something like that. No. Of course, as it stands now, it's impossible to know the full truth. But as for what lay within Cosmo's line of sight, you should have made sure what it was. Nikamina, thank you for telling us the truth in the end. However, the fact that you took away his knife will never disappear. Please, don't ever forget that. I am sorry. I'm very sorry. Thus, the curtain lowered quietly. On the incident involving the SS Eclair, January, 7:14 p.m. SS Eclair, first class cabins. So, what will happen to Nikamina? She is to be turned over to the British Empire Scotland Yard. Will she be granted asylum? Won't Russia demand that she be handed over to them? Our Great British detective plans to negotiate with the Immigration Office in that matter. Holmes. Then, will she ever be able to return to Russia? I would assume so. Even if she wishes to in the future, she will not be able to return to her home now. That is what it means to the effect. I see. I'm very sorry. Stroganoff only wanted to help the princess. But you lose best friend. I did not think of your feelings. Princess and I will turn souls over to Scotland Yard. I see. In any case, thank you for returning my freedom. No matter how much I mourn Asagi, the pain will never go away, but... Good luck with Nikamina. Thank you. Now then, it would best to be prepared to this market soon. The ship will arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. I am deeply sorry, but on top of turning you over to the consul, you will be reprinted to your home country. I understand. I was a stowaway after all. That wasn't going to be overlooked. With that said, shall we return to the cabin? All of this over a misunderstanding. All of this over a misunderstanding. My exchange program into Brandon and Tua has ended before it even began. The two of us were supposed to run around London with smiles on our faces. Now, it just feels like a far-off memory. Huh? can hear someone sobbing. Sato. How long have you been there? We just got here. Detective Hasanaga told me to start preparing to take Barkman here. I am still finding this whole matter quite unbelievable. To think someone's life could end so quickly, so prematurely. Sara. Oh. Cosmo set out on this great journey was holding into a grain to learn. And then someone showed up and heartlessly cut that dream apart into pieces. I will never let them get away with this. At least, that was what I thought. Instead, the truth of the matter was just an unfortunate collection of consequent little accidents. It is too much, just too fleeting. It really is. I'm afraid I cannot offer any personal apology for that matter. Detective, my duty was to ensure that Asagi made his voyage to the British Empire safely. Not only was I unable to accomplish that, I also caused his friend to suffer. Hasanaga will do anything you ask as means to punish. Detective Hasanaga, I don't want to pin the blame on you. As you can see, I'm finally free at last. Huh? Did I surprise you there, Master Naruto? What? What the heck are you doing? It's nothing, really. It's just that, you see, those handcuffs have been fully burned into my memory. If they were to go away, it would have tipped the balance of you becoming an eyesore again. Huh? As commemoration, I'll leave that hanging on your wrist. You're a stowaway, after all. Just how mean can he be? Mr. Holmes, I would like to thank you for everything you have done this voyage. Please accept my humble gratitude from the bottom of my heart. No, I feel the same way. I apologize for my late manners. What happened to your friend was truly a pity. I express my sincere condolences. I pray that you study enough in Britain for this part as well. Unfortunately, that will not be happening. We will be disembarking at the next port, Hong Kong. We will then report to the consul on site and make our way back to Japan. Huh? Wait, please! Wasn't it just supposed to be me, the stowaway, who was supposed to go back? There is an agreement between both countries over who the exchange student will be. Together, one attorney and one legal assistant. Together. Now that the lawyer Asagi has passed away, the exchange program has to be suspended. There's no other choice. It doesn't matter what happens to me, but Sato shouldn't be involved. Oh, come on now. Let's look at it simple. In other words, as long as there is another attorney, your journey can continue. Huh? But there isn't anyone else who can fulfill the qualifications of the attorney. Qualifications, you say? Your country's qualifications hold no weight whatsoever in the British Empire anyway. Then, come what may, there's still 1 month left until this ship reaches London. During that time, I do not think it would be impossible to find a substitute attorney. I see. Hey, Sato. Yes? What is it? Could I possibly fill that role? What? But you're not an attorney. Oh, or could you possibly be a law student? No, not exactly, but if that is the case, then that possibility is no more than a dead end. However, there is still 1 month left before we reach London. Isn't that right, Master Naruhodo? I'll study everything that I need to become an attorney throughout that entire month. Naruhodo, ridiculous! Just what can you do in only 40 days? I won't know until I try. 40 days. I'll study as if my life depends on it. So please, give me a chance. If you can't acknowledge me as an attorney by the time we reach London, I'll accept whatever punishment there is. But why would you do something so reckless? Asugi once told me that there was something he absolutely had to do in the British Empire. And to that end, he will be willing to make whatever sacrifices were necessary. No. I don't want his wish to die in a place like this. And, of course, I'm doing this for myself as well. I will become an attorney. I swear it. What do you think, Susato? Aww. I think it's a wonderful idea. Susato. Your thoughts, Four-Eye Detective? On what? One attorney and one legal assistant. The numbers are proper match, no? No, that's just a codswallop. I think it's just fun. And it looks like it'll be fun. Fun? It's more important. It's more particularly fun than, for example, duty or rules. And that's all there is to it. The only one thing that there's all to it is you! And furthermore, what's crucial isn't someone's qualifications, but rather character. Wouldn't you say? Even if you have seen it with your own eyes, today, from the moment he woke up to this very instant, faced with the pain of his friend's death, along with being suspected as the murderer, you witnessed the accomplishment he made was carrying the weight of that burden. I understand. I'll make sure our country's government understands the situation. Detective Hasanaga, come to think of it, I did promise you a survey. I promise that I will do anything you ask as a means of apology. Thank you so much, Detective Hasanaga. Now then, I must make my way to the captain's quarters. I must report to our country this matter and discuss our next course of action. Do you truly intend to begin studying law from here on? Yes, and if it's okay with you, could you possibly teach me everything about being an attorney? Of course, I'd be happy to lend a hand. I'm a legal assistant after all. Thank you so much. Now, following that, Naruhodo. If it would please you, I would like you to accept this. What? But this is really alright for me too. I'm sure Cosmo will wish for this as well. It is a famed lay that has been passed down to the Asugi family for generations. I am told his name is Karma. I understand. I will gladly accept this. So, once again, I look forward to working with you, Sato. I will be looking forward to working with you as well, Naruhodo. I will not allow you to even a single moment's rest throughout the next 40 days. I shall follow through with you truly. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. The truth is, I have one more request to ask of you. Huh? Oh, yes, what that might be? What might that be? Please, toss me 3 times. Huh? During the investigation, I was always clear that I would never do anything to hurt my dear friend Cosimo. That is undeniable, and I knew that from the very beginning. Despite that, however, I came to suspect you. No matter how shaken up I may have been, it was an awful thing to do. No, it was completely understandable in that situation. The room was locked from the inside, and I was so... No, I don't want to hear any excuses. The reason doesn't matter. You must toss me still flying, not just once, but 5 times. She just keeps adding more tosses. Come on, do it. Toss me right over, with no hesitation. No. I've never tossed anyone before in the first place. Yes, well, it is indeed not something that just anyone can do. But, Mr. Holmes, I've seen it countless times already, but I still can't get enough of that wonderful toss. And here's where I was watching that from. I suppose that would be an example of your so-called Japanese martial arts? Yes, it's a technique passed down from long ago, but with my own unique style. It's apparently called a Sasada toss. If you ever get tossed, you'll be seeing stars. That is quite intriguing. You see, I so happen to be quite a skilled boxer. Why is he dancing now? It would be so kind to teach me that wonderful toss of yours. It would be my honor. Might you try tossing me then? It would be a good place to start my studies. I would be glad to. Now then, Naruhodo, do you excuse me? Huh? And that is how it's done. The whole toss has to come from your gut. Amazing! So this is the legendary technique, the Sasada toss. Now, the deadly Sasada drop. Why me? 1 minute. I'm back. Sorry about that. Was it my Fennecock just then? The scene from that night flashed by my head for an instant. Karma? Yes, this is the great katana passed down to the Asagi family for generations. I'm still surprised that the government was okay with it. bringing a Japanese sword into the British Empire on an exchange program. The katana lies at the heart of our culture. I cannot allow this to leave my side. No matter what, it'll always be here, guiding me forward. That's what I believe. One great strike to end all evil. That kind of attitude really suits you. Yeah, that sounds about right. There is something I absolutely have to do, no matter what. And to that end, I will make whatever sacrifices are necessary. And I will be grateful you will see that through with me. Of course, I swear it. I'll see this through with you to the very end. I knew you would say that. Well, also you said that about what you have to do. I still don't fully understand what that goal might be, but I'll seek it out with my own eyes. In the British Empire's capital, London. The end. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. Okay, I will say this. This case was different than the usual Ace Attorney case. No trials or whatever, this was just pure investigation. Wow, this was something. This was certainly something. Well, let's start this episode. The Adventures of the Runaway Room.
記録を読み返すと、あれは19世紀の終わり、厳しい冬のことだった。事件は霧深い深夜のロンドンの街路をひた走る乗り合い馬車の中で起こった。馬車には被害者と容疑者の両名のみ複数の人間がその事件を目撃した。一体誰が想像しただろうか。この単純極まりない事件があのような恐ろしい結末を迎えることになろうとは。我が友シャーロック・ホームズはあの事件を振り返ってこう言った。思えばあの事件こそは序曲だったのかもしれないね。忘れがたきあの日本人留学生と演じた長い競争曲の始まりだ。
Hey.
すごい。これって本当に駅なのでしょうか。
駅にせよ違うにせよ、これほどの建造物は見たことがございませんね。
蒸気機関車があんなにたくさん。何なんだこの国は。
なんだか夢みたいです。
これが大英帝国の帝国。
あんたたち。
はい。
乗りなよ。
Papa, I'll take your word and however you need to go.
それでは官庁街の高等法院へお願いします。
いいとも。あんたたち最近流行りのニュースですか。
Yeah.
そうかい。 それなら楽しんでいってくれよな。ようこそ世界の中心大英帝国の帝都
To be fair, at least in the English patch, they will plan on adding an English dub, but that will be later. Much later. February 9:21 a.m. High Court of Justice, Chief Justice Office. Armband. So the necklace is replaced with the armband. What an impressively huge room. How would I put this? The ambience here is incredibly overwhelming, almost suffocating. This almost feels like a stronghold. It has been decades since Japan opened its doors to the world. As of late, stone buildings are becoming commonplace in our own country as well, but the awe of seeing the real thing up close is completely different, isn't it? Everything here feels alien compared to the houses made of wood and paper in Japan. You're right about everything feeling alien, but I'm pretty sure there's more to it that shows the difference of our country's architecture. So what is this place? We are at the British Empire's High Court of Justice. This is the Long Chief Justice Office. Long Chief Justice. I see. Had all gone according to plan, our country's against it would have come here to report their arrival today. But Asugi is gone now. Yes, he is. As such, all we can do now is play the role of emissaries. 2 emissaries sent to report Asugi's death and nothing more. Emissaries, huh? Once those emissaries pass on their message, they must promptly return to their country. Japan's emissaries must immediately return. True, that's our duty, if we are the only emissaries. In other words, in order for us to remain in this country, we'll have to become the substitute law exchange student, correct? Yes, the exchange student must have the qualifications to be an attorney as well. An attorney, right. No pressure there. In the British Empire, it appears that attorneys are appointed by the Lord Chief Justice himself. Here and now, you must be appointed as judge. That is the only chance we have to stay in the Great British Empire. Can I really do this? Oh, my friends, I kept you waiting. Huh. Oh. This guy was intimidating. Your journey across the border. Ocean from the Empire of Japan must have been quite arduous. My apologies. Since I am 1 hour, 12 minutes and 47 seconds late to our agreed time. No, there's nothing to apologize about. We both love standing here vacantly, just like statues. That is good to hear. I am the Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire, Hart Vortex. Wow, the honor is giving up is incredible. Naruto, this is where you stand here. It is an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice for the I hail from the Empire of Japan. My name is Ryunosuke Naruto. That's Sir Naruto. Welcome to London, capital of Britain. My country cordially welcomes your arrival. Thank you very much. So, what is your impression of our capital, London? I have to have my tongue. I'm so nervous that I can't remember everything a single thing. I must say, sir, it's been truly wonderful. Oh? I have seen the city of London whilst riding on the coach from the railway station. Everything has been so overwhelming, so impressive. Words can describe my awe. That is good to hear. The railways, water, gas, and communication conduits stretching across the city. They are all the state-of-the-art technology. No visitors is ever failed to notice their beauty. Yes, indeed, I noticed it all. Wow, you really saved me, Sato. I'm glad you're here. Plus, the people of this area are so bright and happy. It's downright infectious. Agreed. London's been booming as of late, and we're currently preparing for the coming World's Fair. World's Fair? Oh, you mean like the Exposition Universelle? Quite. The fruits of all the world's culture and artistry are to be gathered and exhibited here. But you can expect it to eclipse that partisan trifle. It shall be the greatest World's Fair of all. A World's Fair? This is grander than I thought I would ever imagine. I'm just in awe. That emotion is perfectly apt to describe all of our great nation's capital, London. He's definitely confident about this. From the oriental land of the rising sun to the great empire on which the sun never sets. There's nothing short of a fate that you will journey here. Lordship Justice Vortex, regarding the law exchange student. As I recall, Kazuma Asagi, that was his name? Yes, sir. Our government has already learned about the incident via telegraph message. He lost his life on board a steamship en route to the Great British Empire, I am told. I should have guessed that he already known about it. My country expresses our deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you very much. But surely you didn't travel all this way just to inform me of his death. We did. We come to the emissaries from the Empire of Japan to report his death. I heard that your country heavily values politeness. I see that to be true. However, I truly regret to say, since the attorney is there, we have no other option than to halt this student exchange. Please, wait. What is that you need, young lady? There is something that Ryunosuke Naruhodo would like to say regarding this matter. Master Naruhodo, here it comes, a moment of truth. The exchange program. My lord, would it be possible to find some way to continue the exchange process? Of course, our country desires the very same. However, as long as your country's attorney is absent, nothing can be done about it. Then, what if our country will provide another attorney? What a strange thing to say, huh? For plans, your country could only have sent us a single attorney. An attorney by the name of Kazuma Asagi. That is all I heard of the matter. About that, this is bad. I cannot allow myself to make outrageous remarks in front of the Lordship Justice. Naruhodo, I can mess everything up if I choose my more careful. What do I do? Our country has another attorney, and that attorney is... I will be the attorney. Huh, I will. I'll be honest. I am not qualified for the job. Not qualified, and yet you still call yourself an attorney. But I have studied court as an attorney before. It was just once, though. And honestly, it was helping me. And I was a defendant, too. I studied as much as you could for our arrival in the Great British Empire. On the essence of Claire, I studied this country's law and its trials. The voyage here is about 50 days. That's a light study if you can ever call it that. If you want to qualify as an attorney in Britain, you will not only need not only a law degree, but also multiple years of practice in court. I know it's hard to short of a time to learn everything, but I can't turn tail and run home now. Not like this. Asagi's journey has only just begun. I came to the British Empire to carry out its will. Oh, I know it seems like I'm getting over my head saying this, but I'll take on any evaluations necessary if it means being recognized as an attorney. Please, I just need one chance. I beg of you. 31 seconds. I see. What? That was how long your appeal took, Master Naruhodo. Not too short, not too long. It was perfectly moderate appeal. An attorney needs that kind of intuition. Thank you. I'll assist your word with an evaluation. After all, I always enjoy a good show. Huh? Let me make one thing clear, Master Naruto. Sir! You want to carry on Asugi's will. Is that the absolute truth? Yes, that's what I promised to do. I see. I can't help but wonder, why did this exchange change like that? Very well. As you wish, I will give you one chance. One evaluation was the size of you become an attorney, a specially appointed attorney. Accept or refuse. Really, sir? So, what would this evaluation consist of? I ask you, Master Naruto, what is an attorney's job? That we would stand in court and plead your client's case, of course. Exactly. Therefore, why don't we have you do just that? What? This is perfect timing. Conveniently, there is a trial set to start today, but no one has stepped in to accept the defense, so we've been at a loss. It's going to start today? If you obtain a full acquittal in this trial, you pass. You couldn't find a more simple evaluation, could you? That's not true, but... Could you perhaps divulge some details about this trial? As I recall, it was... right. A murder case. Murder? Come now, it's a simple case. There's no way you could lose. He says it so nonchalantly. However, you should be aware that in the worst-case scenario, if your defendant happens to be found guilty, he won't be able to avoid his condemnation. Condemnation? You mean the death penalty? In the Great British Empire, murder is punished by hanging. Are you expect the books you read on word for building this as much? Who would have put with such a dangerous evaluation? That's nothing more than playing games with the defendant's life. I, the Lord Chief Justice, approve it myself. Will you call it a game, knowing that? What? That's insane! There's no need to overthink it. All you have to do is avoid defeat. My defense will determine the fate of the defendant. And if I fail him, it's death by hanging. Master Naruto, you call yourself an attorney. Thus, you must show your resolve, along with your intent to succeed in your strength's will. I hope you can show me the strength of your resolve. My resolve? What now? Do you have anything to say? I'm sorry to say this, but there isn't much time until the trial begins. You're going to do it, you have to commit to it now. What will you do? What am I supposed to say in such a bizarre proposal? Then I will politely... This is no good, I just can't get the words out! 15 seconds. There is an issue with how long you took to make your decision. There is yet another important qualification. Yes, this is just as I had thought. Ultimately, this is what your gallant resolve amounts to. I withdraw my offer of an evaluation. Thank you for your report. I shall arrange a boarding ticket for tomorrow. You will as well return to the Far East. I understand. I am grateful for the opportunity you gave me, Lord Chief Justice. Naruto. I'm sorry, Sado. There's no need to apologize. I understand your decision, of course. You do? In the circumstances, your decision whether you will stand as an attorney. For you, Naruto, this question has nothing to deal with the matter of resolve. What do you mean by that? It's definitely true that I want to be an attorney, no matter what it costs me, but even then, that's no excuse for me to talk about resolve and act like it justifies risking a defendant's life. That's my opinion on the matter. To the client, their trial means a lot more than some evaluation. I believe that an attorney fights for the client's sake each time they stand in court. But from the client's point of view, their trial is a single, crucial battle that will decide their fate. I don't think I'm qualified to handle that battle. Thank you for your time, Lord Chief Justice Vortex. Please excuse us. Wait, Master Naruhodo! Yes, what is it? Traveling from here to the Old Valley typically takes about 20 minutes by coach. If you leave immediately, you should make it there in time. But just so you're aware, what I told you earlier was no joke. There truly isn't a single soul who is willing to stand at the accuser's defense. What? Should this keep up, the court will proceed in the absence of an attorney. And if that happens, there can be no doubt whatsoever that there is nothing at the end of that tunnel other than the worst possible conclusion. That's absurd! Yet it is very undeniable. How does a situation be allowed to happen? I suggest that you do not assume all of that your inquiries will be provided with a reply. In any case, the only individual in the potential to change the defendant's fate at this point is none other than you. I can say that with utmost certainty. But that's... Now then, may I ask a question, young miss? Yes, what is it? Under these new circumstances, should one decide to stand as an attorney or else decline, personally speaking, I believe that choice would be indeed a matter of the individual's resolve. We'll have to end our talk here. It's about time for my conference. I must depart in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And with that, please enjoy yourself in London to your heart's content. He left? The Old Bailey, huh? If we are to go, we ought to depart at once. Here it is, the Old Bailey. 18th February, 9 a.m. Old Bailey, defendant lobby. There are still 15 minutes left until the trial. We managed to make it in time. I had no idea coaches could run so fast. I thought I was going to bite my tongue off. That reminds me of a line from the stories of Sherlock Holmes. Good coachman, an extra guinea for you. He'll get us here in 5 minutes. Our coachman may have been offered somewhere accepted, considering how fast we were going. Having to pay an exchange for near that experience doesn't feel like a fair trade. However, we did right before the beginning of the trial, yes? One minute. Be right. fucking hell. Yeah. Let's return. On the cable thing. I must say though, this is quite strange. We should have been able to meet with the defendant once we arrived. I have spoken with the Baileys, but the defendant is nowhere to be found. So this is the Old Bailey's defendant lobby. Is something the matter, Naruto? The atmosphere here is so tense. It's so different from our own country's Supreme Court. This feeling is a crushing anxiety of someone who's about to be judged. I can recognize it since I just experienced it myself not long ago. I'm sure it's a feeling of deep hopelessness. Oh, why? You two over here. You two over there. Huh? You came all the way here? I can tell you two must have your own fair share of troubles. Huh? Those impassive, almost blank faces bring my people of the Orient. I know! The two of us came from Japan. Oh, yes, I understand. I don't know. Yeah, well, say no more then. So, how much will it be? Huh? Well, we're just... Oh, no, I am fully. I can sympathize with your situation. Oh, on the spirit of war, and I would know where to step and penniless too. Right? It's true that we haven't really decided what to say, but... Is that alright? Anyway, 1,000 guineas. That's a award, my friend. Take them. Hey, 1,000 guineas? What's the matter, Sasato? You were real loud just now. 1,000 guineas would be... That's an outdoor Eka mansion in the wealthiest neighborhoods of Tokyo. What? This is nothing. Despite appearances, I am prepared for unexpected troubles. I am not asked as a researcher by London. 2, or perhaps 3 times over. What kind of unexpected troubles are you imagining? Anyway, we can just simply accept that much money. Whoa! You just hit me in the face with that coin! Of course, I'm not just handing this money over to you for free. I have just one simple request, huh? Oh no, honestly, it's really quite embarrassing to say this, but... You see, my trial's about to begin. Therefore, I have a proposal. I would request you stand by my side in court. As my attorney, yes? Huh? But we... Oh, no, it will be fine. Only... And there, after all, at this rate, my trial will proceed without the need of an attorney. I should have known. What the Lord Chief Justice said was true after all. Excuse me, dear pardon me, but could you possibly be the defendant of this trial? Oh my, could it be? You do not know me, the great celebrity of London? Right, you see, we only just arrived in London this morning. Now I see. I suppose it does make sense. Over near Hyde Park, there is a second public park, which I find rather beautiful. Park, sir? Yes. Magundal Park is very lovely. Flowers bloom and the birds sing. I was born from my humble donations, you see. What? You mean you funded the park? A capital. Oh, where smiles never cease. That is my dream. I could say Magundal will never fail to fight for that ideology. That's amazing, honestly. Incredibly admirable. And despite all my generosity, to call me, Cosney Magundal of all people, a criminal. The almighty London police are but shadows of their former glory, don't you agree? He's hyperventilating now. At any rate, Naruto. Shall we introduce ourselves while the defendant is facing hyperventilating? Let's do that. Mr. Magundal, sir. The truth is, we traveled to this great British Empire to London so we could study the law as law exchange students. And if you had no attorney, if you like, maybe we could be of assistance. Well, yes, how we discuss? However, stand by my saying you shall receive 1,000 guineas. He says that something feels strangely off about this. Oh, yes, I understand. Huh? Perhaps this is what you're thinking right now. This Fisher Brittle will stop bragging about all his money. He has so much money, why does he have a competent defense lawyer? Naturally, this suspicious Britain is without a doubt guilty. Is that right? Huh? Well, you see... No, not at all. It's just, in all honesty, the question of why you have no lawyers really weighing on my mind. This is because of the bringer of death, the Green Reaper of the Old Bailey. What? The Green Reaper? Seriously? That is the name of the presents given to Lord Barco Bonsax, and he is the Strauss prosecutor. Does the prosecutor really kill people? For those he prosecutes, they said the Reaper has come to collect his due. And so, to this day, in the court of the Deathbringer, the number of defendants who have lived is 0, not a single one. What are you saying? Then suddenly, no lawyer remained who will be willing to stand up against the Green Reaper himself. It would be appropriate to call him a legend of the Old Bailey, I'd wager. Lord Bark Van Six. He must be a truly outstanding prosecutor. No, that's not quite right. Perhaps it would be more accurate to say he is cursed instead. Cursed? What exactly does that mean? Defendant and his attorney as well. It's time for the trial to begin. Make your way to the court crown at once. Attorney, they mean me. Oh, the time is finally approaches. Well, I will be counting on you. But I don't even know anything about the case. On top of that, Mr. Magunda, we haven't even finished talking. Until the moment you two arrive, I have been prepared for the worst, huh? Without an attorney, I knew I would have to defend myself all alone, huh? Standing as your own attorney. But then you appear before me. What's more, you are a scholar of law. This cannot be a coincidence. One might even call it fate. I beg of you, please, do not abandon me. Even now, I don't know a single thing about the case of the defendant. However, I do know one thing. Right now, I can't turn my back and leave this man behind. Not a hoodoo. He would stand and be judged in court without a weapon to fend for himself. I'm sure Asagi will be the first to jump into his say. Attorney, what are you doing? If you don't arrive at the court in time, you will not be allowed in the courtroom. Understood. We'll be there immediately. This is where it begins. My first trial in the Great British Empire. Asagi, watch me. Watch as just what I can accomplish now. February 10 a.m. Old Bailey Crown Court. And to be honest, for me this would be the perfect time to leave it as that. God damn it, god damn it, god damn it, I'm so engaged with this game! Definitely am getting so engaged with this game. God damn it, I really am liking this game a lot. Oh. Yes, it will be hard. No information. We don't know anything about the case. We don't know who's the victim. We don't know why they accuse him. this is going to be a hard case. So for me, I'm going to leave this right here and leave it for next time. Thank you for joining, and I'm definitely going to be seeing you next time on more Dai Gyakuten Saiban. I'll be seeing you later. Bye!